Good morning and welcome to Our Chicago. I'm Judy Sue. Maybe you have been sitting on the sidelines, not sure if you want to jump into the real estate market with stories of sellers getting multiple offers, buyers paying more than the asking price. Some can now move anywhere because of remote working. So what does all of that mean for Chicago's real estate market right now as we approach the new year and mark nearly 2 years since the start of the pandemic? That is our topic here today on both the city and the suburbs. And we start first with Anja Gerken. She is the president of the Chicago Association of Realtors and the president and designated managing broker, ARE Partners. Anja, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Judy. How are you?
I'm doing great. So let's jump right in. Certainly feels like we've been seeing this really frenzied housing market. Where do things sit right now in Chicago in terms of pricing, inventory? Is it still a seller's market?
It is still absolutely a seller's market. But that being said, it's still a great time to buy. It's great to be a buyer. If a home is priced correctly, sellers are still seeing multiple offers at above ask. Sometimes they are going under contract quickly. And in general, in Chicago, median close prices are up. That being said, it's still a great time to be a buyer. The market is stabilizing. Buyers have a little bit more breathing room. And plus, they have the advantage of lower interest prices and greater buying power in the city.
And let me ask you this. We are now almost 2 years since the start of the pandemic. With so much remote working still going on, is that still impacting what city buyers are looking for?
Well, when the pandemic started, we didn't know what to expect. And pretty early on, it was clear that buyers were looking for more space. More space to work from home, more space to school from home, more space to Peloton from home, or whatever you have, whatever they're doing, it's from home. And that included more green space. But what's incredibly invigorating is that condo sales are up in Chicago dramatically. November saw a 30% increase in condo closings and median sale prices up as well. So that speaks volumes. It shows that Chicago is still super viable, a great place to live and work and play.
And speaking of that, let me ask you, what are the hottest neighborhoods in Chicago right now for real estate?
I get that question all the time. And, buying is so personal. And so the answer could be all of them. Chicago's made up of 77 different neighborhoods. So depending on what a buyer is looking for, what their price point is, what their needs are, what their requirements generally are, there are a lot of great options. And I've personally had multiple offers throughout the Chicagoland area on all different types of properties, whether it's single family homes or condos, multifamily, you name it. So generally speaking, it could be anywhere. So if a buyer is looking for a home, we're going to show it to them no matter where it is.
Now, that is an answer from an expert covering all bases, Anja. Okay, so I do want to ask you about the supply chain issues that we have been hearing a lot about. Is that still impacting home buying and selling and new construction?
Sure. Inventory is an issue. It's the reason that there are fewer homes on the market. And supply chain is one of the reasons for the costs being at bay. To build a home, it's very expensive, and it has been for years. Supply chain issues only contribute to that. So, we need more housing, and we need specifically more affordable housing. The Chicago Association of Realtors advocates for so many things, including changes in many ordinances and the building codes to ensure that there is enough inventory and great homes for people in Chicago.
And Anja, I'm sure you get asked this quite a bit too, looking, into that crystal ball, right? Looking ahead to 2022. Any thoughts about the new year coming up in terms of real estate, the big challenge and maybe a big opportunity for home buyers?
Well, look, we've been talking about inventory. Even just a short amount of time, I must have said it at least 17 times, right? But the reality is it's still a great time to buy. There are great opportunities, and you can get into your dream home. That's a reality. Interest prices remain low. Loan limits are up. And fortunately, there's also been a stabilization of the market, which means more breathing room for buyers. And, with some dedication, a good realtor, and focus, you can get into the home of your dreams.
You mentioned interest rate. Let me just throw that question in as well. There's some news in the last few days about interest rates possibly going up. What about mortgages in the new year? What can we expect?
Well, my friends in the mortgage community, they've been giving me the heads up that, yeah, the forecast is that interest rates could rise. And economists are saying that as well. So if this is your time and you're looking to buy, you might want to get into a home in the first quarter to lock in those lower interest rates. And rents are also rising. So frankly, a great thing to do is to compare what your rent might be as opposed to a mortgage payment. Or take that a step further, for instance. Like I had a client looking, we ended up getting him into a 2-flat. And with those rising rents, he's able to supplement his mortgage payment from the second unit's rents, and his payment is much, much lower than his rent ever was.
That is something to think about. Anja, thank you so much this morning for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, happy holidays to you. So what about the suburban market? We cover this city. We'll talk about that with another real estate pro when we come back.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.